Before we begin, I want to give you a warning, because what you're about to see in this video is no game. These are sharp fragments from the mind of Machiavelli, tools that shaped empires and sunk nations. They are not advice for good or evil, but reflections of human reality when confronted with power. If you choose to continue, do so responsibly, because every word may cut deeper than you imagine. Let's get to the point. No one cares about you. It's not an insult, nor an exaggeration. It's the truth you've always tried to avoid. You believe your mistakes are under everyone's microscope, that your steps are watched as if the whole world were waiting for your fall. But no, people barely remember their own failures, let alone yours. And while you torture yourself over every decision, they move on as if you never existed. That's the first wound, discovering that you are irrelevant. And at the same time, that irrelevance is your greatest freedom. What you will discover in this video is not meant to soothe your conscience. These are knives wrapped in words, laws that not everyone dares to face. Because when you understand how power moves, fear changes places. It's no longer others you fear, but yourself. And if you decide to stay, prepare yourself, because the 7 laws about to be revealed may make you see your world as you never have before. First law: control perception. Tell me, how many times have you felt that no matter what you say, what you do, what you build, someone always manipulates the story and changes how others see it? There lies the trap. There lies the first law. Truth has no value if no one believes it. What people believe, even if it's a lie, becomes their absolute truth. And the terrifying part is that their actions are guided by that illusion. Controlling perception is like having an invisible army. You don't need to show strength, you just need to shape beliefs. A gesture of indifference can make you seem untouchable. A calculated smile can open more doors than 1,000 arguments. A well-placed silence can unleash more rumors than an hours-long speech. Perception is a broken mirror. Each fragment reflects what someone needs to see. If you learn to direct those fragments, to show only the convenient piece, you won't have to prove anything else. Think of symbols: a garment, a gesture, a word repeated at the exact moment. People don't analyze, they interpret. And when they interpret, they project onto you what they themselves want to see. That is where absolute control lies, becoming the canvas on which others paint their own fantasies. But beware, the mask must be constant. If you let it slip, if the seam is noticed, your image cracks, and the entire illusion collapses. Building reputation is easy. Maintaining it is the true art. Whoever manages to make their mask indistinguishable from their skin becomes a living myth. And a myth, even a false one, is more powerful than any naked truth. Second law: use people as pieces on the board. Listen carefully. The greatest lie we've been taught is to believe in pure loyalty. Loyalty is smoke. Today someone may swear fidelity to you, and tomorrow sell you for a crumb of power or an empty promise. What does this mean? That your allies are not friends? They are pieces. Use them as shields when the storm comes. Let them believe they're winning when in reality they are holding you up. And enemies, never make the mistake of eliminating them entirely. The existence of a visible enemy is the perfect stage to demonstrate your strength. Without rivals, your triumph has no shine. Manipulating others is like conducting an orchestra. Some instruments sound soft, others loud, but all follow your rhythm. Make your allies compete among themselves for your approval. Make your enemies wear each other down to survive. Never allow them to discover that, in truth, they all work for you. That is the board. The players believe they decide their moves, but every step is conditioned by the position in which you placed them. And the most unsettling part, they don't need to know it. It's enough that they feel they act of their own will, when in reality, it's your hands moving the pieces. Third law, cultivate silence and mystery. Think about the power of emptiness. When someone doesn't know what you think, what you want, what you plan, they start to fill that space with their own fears. Mystery paralyzes. It's like walking in a dark room. Every shadow becomes a monster, every creak a threat. That's what you are when you choose silence. The one who talks too much undresses himself, exposes his weak spots. The one who speaks just enough, who controls his expression, becomes an enigma impossible to attack. Mystery attracts and terrifies in equal measure. It attracts because the human mind seeks answers. It terrifies because the unknown always seems bigger, more powerful, more dangerous than it is in reality. You don't need to shout your plan. Only leave ambiguous crumbs so others devour themselves with their own interpretations. Your calm unsettles more than an attack. Your fixed gaze disarms more than a speech. Every silence is a weapon. Every doubt you plant is a chain the other locks onto himself. Make yourself invisible, and you'll be everywhere. Become impenetrable, and every word of yours will be analyzed as if it hid a code. When you achieve that, your mere presence provokes anxiety. When your smallest gestures seem like secret messages, then you will have reached the true peak of control, becoming a living enigma. And an enigma can never be defeated, because no one knows where it begins or ends. Do you want real power? Don't shout it, feel it. Don't show it, let it be guessed. Let silence be your voice, and mystery your best armor. That's where the true transformation begins. When you stop being human in the eyes of others and become a myth that can never be deciphered. Fourth law, create dependency. The coldest secret of power is not in strength nor in admiration. It's in need. Whoever needs you will never be able to betray you, because doing so would be betraying themselves. Dependency is the most invisible and strongest chain. It's not about giving everything, but about offering in precise doses what others crave. Resources, influence, contacts, favors, even your attention. Do it drop by drop, never in excess, so that they always come back seeking more. That's how you build a golden prison where the victim believes they're enjoying a privilege. The more they think they receive, the more they bind themselves. And the more they bind themselves, the more fragile they become without you. Dependency is not imposed by force. It's sown like a sweet seed disguised as a gift. The day someone believes their life would be a disaster without your presence, that day you'll have achieved the purest form of control. Fifth law, use fear more than love. Love, gratitude, admiration. These are beautiful feelings, but volatile. Today they adore you. Tomorrow they forget you. Fear, on the other hand, is constant, deep, and never sleeps. Don't confuse this with gratuitous cruelty. Fear must be dosed like a slow poison, a veiled warning, a fair consequence, an exemplary punishment. Never explode in rage, never act on impulse. Fear must feel calculated, inevitable, and at the same time fair. Whoever loves may betray you if their heart changes, but whoever fears your shadow won't dare even think of defying you. It's a silent rope that keeps order. Inspire respect without provoking hatred. Intimidate without falling into sadism. Remember this: no one fears an unpredictable monster. He is hated and sought to be destroyed. But everyone respects the silent force that shows that if it decides to strike, no one will come out unscathed. Fear, when administered like a surgeon handles his scalpel, becomes the most enduring tool of control. Sixth law, divide to rule. A united group is a fortress. A divided group is sand slipping through your fingers. If you want to maintain power, never let others unite against you. Sow rivalries, generate doubts, feed comparisons. Let them compete among themselves for your attention. Let them distrust their own allies. Let them never find common ground. Divide, and you will have won before the war begins. Favor some and then others. Alternate power like a moving scale, so that everyone is always uncertain. Become the only reliable source of information, because when others don't even trust each other, you are the only lighthouse to which they will turn. Controlled chaos is not disorder, it's strategy. If everyone is busy fighting for their slice of power, no one will have the energy to challenge you. In the end, rivals wear each other down, while you, from above, hold the strings. What to them looks like war, to you is balance. That's how you rule, not with unity, but with meticulously calculated division. The day they all hate each other a little more than they hate you, that day you'll be untouchable. Seventh and final law, conceal the true objective. The gravest mistake of the naive is showing their cards too soon. Whoever reveals their plans ahead of time exposes themselves to attack, envy, and direct opposition. The key lies in disguise, secondary goals that distract, partial objectives that entertain the curious, half-truths that seem definitive. Every move must appear to be the end, when in reality it's just a step toward something far greater. Advance slowly, give the illusion of transparency, but never reveal the essential. Surprise is a devastating weapon. The enemy who thinks they know you gets complacent, lowers their guard, convinces themselves they can anticipate your moves, and just when they feel everything is predictable, that's when you strike. The true objective is revealed late. Too late, when there's nothing left they can do to stop it. It's like a door slamming shut. When they realize it, they're already inside, trapped in your plan, with no way out. Concealing the final purpose doesn't mean lying outright, but sowing a labyrinth of illusions that make everyone believe they are deciphering your strategy. And while they waste time following the crumbs you left, you advance silently toward the real goal. When you reveal it, there will be no turning back, and the inevitable will seem natural, almost predestined. That is the ultimate triumph, making others think they always knew, when in reality they never saw anything. Thus, the circle is complete. Control perception, use people as pieces, cultivate mystery, create dependency, wield fear, divide to rule, and finally, conceal the true objective. 7 laws, 7 daggers hidden under the skin of power. And now that you know them, you hold in your hands a dangerous decision: to ignore them, or to look into them as into a mirror and discover how much of you is already playing on this board without your knowing. And now that you've heard it all, tell me the truth. What do you feel? A chill running down your spine, a voice in your head telling you nothing you see is what it seems. Because the greatest impact of these laws is not in applying them, but in realizing you have already suffered them, that someone, at some point, already used them on you. Think of the times you followed an illusion that was never real, of the silences that intimidated you, of the dependencies that trapped you like invisible cages. They weren't coincidences. They were pieces of a board where, without knowing it, you were a pawn and not a player. And now that we've made it this far, before we continue, I want to present the following to you. Our book, The Formula of Awakening, is now available. Do you feel like there's something inside you that wants to awaken, but you don't know where to start? Then I invite you to transform your way of thinking, and with it, your way of living. Discover who you can become. Start today. The link to get the ebook is in the first pinned comment of this video. Grab your copy now at a great price. With that said, let's continue with the video. And here comes the final blow. Now you can never look at anyone the same way. Every gesture, every word, every smile, everything will become a possible disguise, a calculated move. You may even begin to wonder whether those around you are allies or mere instruments. And that is the true power of this knowledge. Not that you use it, but that you recognize it when you try to survive in the midst of it. Because what you don't see is what controls you the most. But listen well, if you've come this far, it means your mind is prepared to look at what others cannot bear, and that makes you different. Now tell me, would you dare live with these laws in your hands, or would you rather keep pretending the world is innocent? I invite you to leave a phrase in the comments that reveals your vision after hearing all this, a phrase that sums up what you now feel. Perhaps something like, "Power always smiles from the shadows." If this journey stirred you, subscribe, because what comes next will be even more unsettling. Here we don't speak of what you want to hear. We speak of what no one dares to tell you. Turn on notifications, because the next revelation may be the crack that changes your way of seeing the world forever. And now I leave you with one last whisper. Turn off the light in your room. Look at yourself in the mirror. And ask yourself if the person staring back is really you, or just the mask others have built. See you in the shadows.